What if I told you the hardest part of sports betting isn't finding winners, but being allowed to bet on them? Most sportsbooks don't want you to win, and when you do, their response is swift and brutal. I'm going to break down exactly how they shut winners down in this video. Welcome to Kalstrop. We're built to do the opposite of most of the betting world. We're not here to give you picks. We're here to give you the data, the AI-powered tools, and the transparency you need to become a truly sharp bettor. Our entire platform is designed to put the power back in your hands. I saw this happen firsthand when we were testing our AI tennis model. The model flagged a massive pricing error on a player's service games in an obscure tournament. It was a clear, data-backed edge. At first, we could get down $500 per bet. It was working perfectly. Within a week, that limit was slashed to $100. A few days after that, we could barely bet $30. Just like that, our scientifically proven edge was neutralized. Not because we were wrong, but because we were right. Let's be clear. Sportsbooks exist to take your money. So it's no surprise they have a problem with players who can actually beat them. So what do? They make it harder for you to play. This is usually done in two ways, either by rejecting your wagers outright or by crushing your limits so you can't bet any meaningful amount. But how do they know who's sharp and who just got lucky? If you're trying to stay profitable, is it better to hide your wins or hide your method? Judging you by your win-loss record isn't accurate. Luck is a huge factor. Instead, they profile you based on a metric called CLV, closing line value. The idea is simple. The most efficient, correct price for a bet is the line right before the game starts. If you consistently bet a line at a better price than where it closes, you have positive CLV. To a sportsbook, that's a massive red flag. It tells them you know what you're doing. The other way they spot you is by your betting patterns. How you bet says everything. A casual player loves action. They bet on things happening. They love betting overs. Sharps, on the other hand, often find the real value in unders and underdogs. Sharps also avoid high-margin sucker bets like parlays and futures. Most importantly, they line shop. If a sportsbook notices you only bet with them when they have the absolute best price on the market, they know you're not a loyal customer. You're a calculated player. Once a sportsbook tags you as sharp, the most common counterattack is to lower your limits. Go to a casino, and a blackjack table has a sign with the min and max bet. Sportsbooks? They decide your max bet player by player. If you're a losing player, they'll take as much as you're willing to give them. If you're a winning player, those limits come crashing down. Remember that tennis edge I found? The crazy part is those limits weren't just for tennis. When the NFL season started, my limit to bet on a game winner was suddenly less than $100. I might have an edge in one specific tennis market, but I have zero edge in picking NFL sides. They were even going to limit my bet on the Super Bowl coin toss, a bet no one could possibly have an edge on. This is how sportsbooks shoot themselves in the foot. They use lazy, blanket limits on any player who shows an ounce of skill. It's a short-sighted strategy. The other mistake they make is reading too much into CLV. For example, a friend of mine is a huge Manchester United fan. He'd bet on them to win every single match as early as possible. As the week went on, more public money would come in on United, and the line would move. As a result, he had huge closing line value every week. By the fourth week of the season, he found himself limited to just $50 on any soccer bet. They mistook his fandom for a sharp strategy. In reality, it was anything but. The sportsbook just misread the data. Then there are the rare sportsbooks that actually invite sharp action. To them, sharp money is a signal. It tells them which side the pros are on. They can then adjust their lines to encourage recreational players to bet the other side, increasing their overall profit. These books essentially pay for information by taking a small loss from a sharp bettor. Ironically, these are the books that often have the same posted limits for everyone. They don't need to play the limiting game. If this all sounds draining, you have to realize it's a game within the game. This is what we talk about at Kalstrop. There's the science of sports betting, and there's the art. The science is finding an edge. That's what our AI models are built for. But the art is being able to get your money down and stay in the game long enough to realize your profits. The art is much harder. So how do sharps get around limits? First, most people bet on apps, which instantly ties your name to every wager. Some sharps prefer to bet in person to stay more anonymous, hitting different ticket writers or different locations. Some will even use automated kiosks, which have lower limits but allow them to rebet anonymously after placing their first wager. The other way sharps overcome limits is to bet through other people. The legality of this varies, but sharps will always find creative ways to get back in the game, even when a book has made it clear they're not welcome. In this battle between winning bettors and the sportsbooks, limiting and rejecting bets is their most effective weapon. Knowing what they are looking for and how to avoid detection can give you a much longer, more profitable life at a sportsbook. Are you ready to stop guessing and start using verified data to your advantage? Explore the tools at kalstrop.com. From our AI models to our operator feedback system that helps you fight back against unfair practices, we give you what you need to bet smarter.